have a thing with my camera that started up about a week ago, and every time I turn it on I have to reset the time. This is the first it's happened. I'm wondering if it has anything to do with charging my batteries. I had to get new batteries and I charged them in an actual charger because I was able to get 2 batteries with a charger for a lot less. It was like a prime order or whatever. And now I don't charge the battery right in the actual camera. So, all right, I have a card to mail to, it's really an old friend of my mom's, and we keep in touch every once in a blue moon. Really nice lady in Florida. Everything's on there. Okay. So Merry Christmas to her and her granddaughter. So am I making RADHD? So it's super smoggy or foggy this morning. London fog, right? That's what someone used to say. Oh, we have London fog today. So anyway, I just needed to mail that letter really quick. This way. Wow, even, right, it must have settled out by the Delaware River. It's super foggy east here. I was kind of wondering if I should go east today. And wow, I can't even see beyond Broad Street. So let's see. That guy reminds me of an old friend from a running group. I sort of lost touch with a lot of people because of everything that happened. And oddly, you know, sometimes if you experience tragedy or bizarre things that are inexplicable, you know, not everybody sticks around, or some people might participate in the inexplicable. So it's like, well, I can't hang out with that person because there's too much activity surrounding that person, and I don't know if they're partially responsible or if they're playing along or whatever it is. So anyway, we used to have yoga up here. They brought back a new yoga group, but it's not the same. Dhyana Yoga used to be housed there for many years on the top floor at 1611 Walnut. I miss it because it was 75 to 90 minute authentic vinyasa flow yoga, and you just can't find it today. I don't know what to say. There's been a massacre of yoga at these newer studios. It's not the same. So I'm wondering, like, if you're in the thick of the fog, if it's hard to tell. They have this road closed off. More ways to head. But a lot of the weather here, because of normal jet stream motions, flows from west to east. So a lot of rain clouds you can actually see them coming like from western Philadelphia and western PA over the city. Like you can watch from your window and be like, there it is, you know, coming over, flowing east. I'm headed east on Walnut Street, the north side of the street. I'm currently on the 1500 block. Broad Street is the 1400 block. Broad Street 215. Broad Street is 14th Street. Gill Travel and PNC Bank with a fisheye hook. Now Gill only has one L. So when I first moved to Philadelphia, the reason I moved is because I got a job at North American Publishing Company. P.S. Never work for places that say like North American or something. So anyway, a little hint there. Somehow I wound up on someone's like fake path of, you know, even though it was real work, I worked very hard and I had a lot of skills to develop while there. Like even out of school, you still have to develop your skill in the real world. Anyway, they used Gill Travel. We used to travel to conferences for work. So I wrote for a promotional marketing magazine, and we would go to different conferences. Like we went to Dallas, San Antonio, Los Angeles, / Santa Monica, Chicago, and maybe a place in Florida. So we got to travel to all those locations, and our job was to walk around and find out all these new fandangled products that people could put their logos on. It's just like Elaine from Seinfeld. You know how she wrote product descriptions about different products? It's the same. That particular magazine was basically the same thing, except it didn't seem as interesting or glamorous, but we actually wrote descriptions about different products, but they would be products that purposely are used to promote a company. So maybe it's as simple as a pen, and all the banks put their logos on these pens that have a special clicker, or they have like a snow globe on the top, you know what I mean? So, or companies will hand out gifts if you reach goals. This often happens in corporate America. We need you to sell this many products, you know. And if you get that, then you get a, you know, briefcase or a satchel bag or a tote bag, and that would be a promotional product, and it would have, say, Chase written all over it. So you can see the smog a little bit more here. I think it's more on the east side, but it's all over the city. So, get on this way. We've got a planter right in the middle of the... Usually this is somewhere else, I think. It would probably be more like over by the lantern. So that's a new one. They know they're wrong. So anyway, I was talking about people on the street behaving. So headed this way. And I was okay with the job. In a way, it's kind of... I did see working there as a safe place for writers who were still like building their skills. Like you would learn certain things and you're not affecting too many people. It's trade magazine stuff. So it would be servicing very specific markets. It wasn't that big of a world, kind of, although promotional marketing is a huge world, but only so many people subscribed based on whatever, you know, even our ads were, we have the same people advertising every, you know, month and stuff like that. So, anyway, it's almost like a crash course in a certain type of journalism, if you will. If you had a degree in writing as opposed to journalism. My chief editor didn't graduate with a journalism degree. He also was an English major. Most people I worked with were English majors, not journalism majors, so anyway, every workplace has its own style. So they might, like the generic thing would be AP style, Associated Press style for journalism, and they have a whole style book for all different kinds of situations that arise. How do you, you know, how do you correctly use punctuation marks, or, you know, how do you correctly write about something, and you have to use a certain style. For instance, you would use numeric digits for 1 through 10 or whatever, 1 through 9, and from 10 on or from 11 on you would write it out. Or oh, it's the other